podcast, a podcast designed to fill your passenger seat with chat about classic cars, all recorded from my 1968 Morris Minor Peggy. I'm Becca, and today I'm actually on my way to one of the car club Christmas meals that I've got happening in this week run up till Christmas. And it fits really nicely with today's topic, which is looking at whether having a classic car gives you the excuse to be a little bit more festive. And as you can probably see if you're watching on the YouTube channel, I take any excuse to be festive. I love this time of year, so I thought it would be an interesting look at kind of what I've really enjoyed doing with my classic car during the festive period. And hopefully it might give you a couple of ideas of some stuff that you could get up to with your classic car if you've got some time off over Christmas. So I guess the most obvious thing to start with, given where I'm actually on my way to now, is the fact that being in a classic car club, owning a classic car, opens up so many new friendships and relationships and things like that with people, and it gives you an excuse to be more social at this time of year. It's obviously a great option to kind of go along with family things, but if you've not got great relationships or whatever with family, then it gives you new relationships with other people who have got similar interests to you, so that this time of year can feel a whole lot less lonely for you. I've got 2 Christmas meals to do with car clubs this week, and obviously at the beginning of the month I had the Morris Minor Young Owners Christmas meet as well. So there's lots of things that you can get involved with at Christmas time to do with car clubs that give you kind of an excuse to go out and socialise and not a need to be lonely. There's also lots of things like Boxing Day drives and New Year's Day drives and things like that that give you an excuse to get out in your car at this time of year, and another way to kind of socialise. If you've been following along on Instagram, you'll have also noticed that I've had a lot of fun using my car to go Christmas light hunting. Some of this has happened on regular journeys, in kind of a way to kind of spot things and enjoy things while I'm out and about. And a regular journey, I might drive past a house that's beautifully decorated, park my car up where it's safe to do so. I could walk over and have a look if I can't get a picture, but also I tried to get as many pictures as possible. Last year I obviously did the Christmas tree challenge, where I tried to park next to as many Christmas trees as possible. I broadened it out this year to Christmas lights, so that I could go to some more places, spot some more houses that had done some fantastic decoration. And at this point of recording, I think I'm at like 22, 23 different houses and lights displays in towns and places that I've managed to park Peggy next to, get a photo of. And that's not counting the ones that whilst I've been out driving about, I've managed to park, I've driven past but not been able to park next to. And it's just such a lovely thing to spot, and having a classic car, it's an excuse to go out for a drive, look for the Christmas lights. One evening this month, I needed to go and pick up, I went out to pick our takeaway up, but I think I went out about an hour or so earlier than the takeaway was going to be ready, and did kind of a lovely detour on a Sunday night. I think it was maybe about 4 o'clock on a Sunday night. Went out for a drive. The roads were absolutely dead. Obviously at this time of year it's dark, and I was able to get loads of Christmas lights on that particular trip, and it really put me in the festive mood, really made me smile, and I came home, watched a Christmas movie with my takeaway, and it was a fantastic night that obviously my classic car had been part of, which is lovely. And I've truly had a fantastic time going out and spotting some of these Christmas lights displays. I've been able to see things I perhaps wouldn't have by taking the excuse to go for a drive in an evening, I've been able to enjoy some pretty quiet roads in the fens in the evenings when it's quite dark, especially on that Sunday night when I had loads of fun. And also it's been kind of nice to see different businesses and people's homes all lit up in a different way. And yes, I've probably, to some people, looked like a little bit of a strange person, a little bit of a weirdo parking up outside their house to take a photo of my car with their house display. But there's been some fantastic displays, and again, if you follow me over on social media, you will have known that my absolute peak was I'd gone to a house that I'd known about from last year, that somebody had told me about last year, but I didn't include in the Christmas tree challenge because it wasn't trees, it was a house display, but it was absolutely gorgeous, so I'd gone and taken a photo anyway. And they do it for charity as well, so I wanted to put a little bit of money in the bucket. And when I'd gone, the light weren't lit up yet. So I decided I'd kind of go down the end of the town, turn around and come back, and as I went down the end of the town, I spotted down one of the side streets this house that looked gorgeously lit up, and I was like, oh, I'll head down there once I've turned round. So we turn round, head down this street, and down this street is not only a beautifully period house that's all decorated up in the most gorgeous display of lights, but also happens to be parked outside a Daimler Sovereign from 1970. And so I get to take some absolutely gorgeous photos that look period, with the kind of age of the house and the age of the cars, and there was no other cars on the street, and it was just an exciting thing that made my day. And it's something that I wouldn't have done, a festive experience I wouldn't have had if it wasn't for owning a classic car. I've also had a tremendous amount of fun decorating my car up for Christmas. You'll have seen in previous podcasts with the young members, and also again over on social media, that I've had tinsel on Peggy's bonnet, on Peggy's bumpers, some fairy lights inside, a tiny little Christmas tree, a Christmas decoration with her name on it hanging from my rearview mirror. And also some of the characters that I have in the car all year round have got mini little Santa hats on them for the festive period. And it's just made me smile every time I've got in the car. It's made other people smile. I actually went to my work's Christmas lunch with my work colleagues the other day, and as me and one of my work colleagues got out of the car, someone pulled up next to us and said, I just wanted to say your car is the most festive thing I've ever seen. And I went to Lapland 2 years ago, and that made me very pleased, and really made my day. And I've got the window clings in the rear windows, and not only has it made me smile, but it's also been really nice that when I've been out on a drive, out on my commute, it's made other people smile. Obviously a classic car makes other people smile sometimes anyway. But to see the tinsel and kind of Father Christmas in the rear window has just had a few more people turn and look and point, and it's nice that she's spreading a bit of festive cheer as well, which is all I can hope for. We've also been really fortunate this year that we've had kind of a little bit of snow near us in the run up to Christmas, and it always is wonderful to get a bit of snow and get a photo of your classic car with some snow. Peggy, up until literally this weekend, was on the driveway out of her garage because Wyvern is in the garage now, so we've actually managed to get a Clark garage to put Peggy into, but Peggy was on the driveway during the snow, and so obviously snow pictures are great, but a snow picture of a classic car that's covered in tinsel and everything like that is extra fantastic, I would say. And it was nice to kind of have everybody sharing their pictures of their festively dusted with snow Morris Miners in the young members chat over the last few days. I also decided to have a little bit of fun this year with creating a custom Christmas card. Obviously last year I had the wonderful fortune of having an artist get in touch, ask if they could paint Peggy and myself for a Christmas card design, and that was what I sent to everybody last year. And I didn't want to kind of just repeat the same card every year, so I decided to try and create something with both Peggy and Wyvern on for this year, so that we can kind of add it to a rotation of a couple of Christmas cards that we send out every so often. And so whilst Peggy and Wyvern haven't actually been out together in festive weather at the time when I wanted to send the Christmas card, I was able to have a little bit of fun with some photo editing and some creative license on Photoshop, and take a photo that I'd actually taken in I think it was like September or something, at a local meet, and turn it into something a little bit festive and fun for our Christmas card this year. So I added a Christmas tree to Wyvern's passenger seat. I added a stack of presents to Peggy, a Christmas tree behind them, and then some kind of traditional English cottages and churches and things in the background. Oh, and some snow, I think, actually. And then made it kind of look a little bit like a painting, and generally just had a bit of fun with it. And it meant that we were able to send something kind of quite personalised to our friends and family, and let them know kind of a little bit of what we've got up to in the year, that we've got another card if we hadn't really spoken to them too frequently, and what the car looks like. And yeah, just generally have a bit of fun that otherwise I might not have thought to. So those are the sort of things that I've been up to, but I've also seen some other people doing some wonderfully festive things over on various social media channels that has kind of solidified my belief that owning a classic car and using it at this time of year gives you so many more opportunities to be wonderfully festive. I've seen some people doing some absolutely gorgeous photo shoots of their cars in all sorts of festive situations. I've seen people going and collecting their Christmas tree in their classic car. Convertible 1930s cars seem to make a fantastic way of transporting a Christmas tree home. If we got real trees, me and Jamie, then I suspect it would have been a whole lot of fun to go and collect a Christmas tree in our classics, but we've got a passed down from generations artificial tree that we use. But it's been so fun to see people coming up with fun and interesting ways to get those Christmas trees home in their classic cars. I think it's also been really fun to see people on social media doing kind of Advent themed things, and having kind of Advent posts on their social media throughout the Christmas period about kind of their dream cars, their dream Christmas car, what they'd ask Santa for if they could ask for anything, all those sorts of things. That's been kind of really fun to see other people's and other channels doing over here. And again, another way that it's been quite nice to feel quite festive with other people on through the classic car groups. Other festive events that people have been putting on. I really like the look of stuff that was on at Vista Heritage, and some of the kind of festive four-wheeler stuff, and all these sorts of things that are like a unique car take on the festivities, and just generally bringing a bit of joy and fun to us and that festive spin on the way that we enjoy our classic cars. So that's kind of some of my festive thoughts on classic car ownership. If you've been looking for an interesting Christmas drinking game, perhaps listen to this podcast again and take a drink of something for every time that I say the word festive, and you could probably have quite a bit of fun. But this is the last podcast before the big day, and I did want to do something a little bit Christmassy and also give you a bit of an update of some of the stuff that we've been up to. We've got the garage up, we've been decorating Peggy, I've been out doing my Christmas lights challenge, and I've got some fantastic Christmas meals with some wonderful classic car owners over the next few days that I've got to look forward to. So I'm really fortunate in that regard, and I hope that you guys have got some interesting and exciting stuff planned for the festive period. I'd love to hear if you've had some fun with your cars over the kind of run up to Christmas, or if you've got anything exciting planned for after Christmas, because I might be looking for something to do, or somebody else might be. So get in touch via either the social media that you found the podcast through, or if you're watching on YouTube, through the comments section. If you'd like to spread a little bit of festive cheer my way, I'd really appreciate if you shared the podcast with someone who you thought might enjoy it, or another episode that you've seen this year that you think they might enjoy, and hopefully we'll get a couple more subscribers joining us here in our little kind of passenger seat podcast corner of the internet. Hope you have a very good holiday period, whatever that might entail for you. And I'll still have a podcast out next week for you to look forward to as well. But in the meantime, drive safely and happy motoring.